The morning started softly, breakfast, movement, and a little ritual of taking care of myself before stepping outside. Lately, I've been trying to be more intentional with what I eat, so I made some healthy, gluten-free and lactose-free pancakes with garlic and some herbs. Simple things that make me feel good from the inside out. I'm actually hyper-fixated in this recipe. I did it at least 3 times this week. And it's very simple. I do it with oat milk. The main ingredient I would say is the chickpea flour. And then I normally add a little bit of baking soda, salt, a little bit of oil, and some herbs. And something that I do that I think it's a bit different, I like to add garlic. So I buy the garlic ready, like this, and it's very practical to just add it directly in the recipe, together with salt, of course. And everything I do besides that is just mixing up everything and leaving it as a pancake shape, let's say, pancake texture. I normally, this type of recipe with like half a glass of milk and half glass of flour gives me at least 2 servings. 2 pancakes per serving, and by serving I mean lunch and dinner. So I mix everything and I just put for like 2 minutes in the stove, like in a proper pan, and that's the result. Facial mask. Oh my god, this is gonna be very cold on my face. This is such a different mask. Jesus. Anyway, today is my solo day in Madrid. Oh my god, I'm a bit nervous to put it on because it's gonna be cold and it's already cold and I'm gonna look weird as fuck. But let's go for it. I can only hope it has enough product in it that I didn't drop everything on the floor. Anyway, today is my solo date day in Madrid. So basically, I'm gonna go to a nice café to do my journaling and some activities from the Prosperity Club I'm a part of. So join me for that. While my skincare mask was slowly freezing my face off, I thought why not getting things ready for my solo date. I also was thinking about how differently I experience solitude these days. There was a time when being alone felt very heavy, and now it just feels peaceful and okay. I think part of that came from learning that loneliness and solitude are not the same thing, and also from understanding that my emotions don't have to control the meaning of my day entirely. So instead of focusing on what's missing, I try to focus on what's still beautiful. And obviously we can't always control what happens, but we can control the perspective we choose to carry through it. And I think it's quite beautiful to focus on quiet mornings, exercising, and having this freedom to romanticize my life. And also now, especially living alone abroad, the chance to know myself better. Anyway, before leaving, I packed my little essentials for the day. Obviously, my journal, iPad, headphones, perfume, water bottle. Tiny comforts that make a solo day feel even more intentional. And of course, my jewelry. Putting on gold jewelry has become one of those small rituals that instantly makes me feel like myself. There is something so exciting about choosing what I'm gonna wear and wearing different things. I started getting ready, and this is the moment that I really wanted to share with you a bit those reflections I was having when it comes to being lonely and enjoying solitude, and at the same time trying to control a bit better my emotions and how I perceive myself and my life here in Madrid. I had to dry a bit my face because the mask was way too much. One thing that I wanted to discuss also with myself, which most of the videos are for. Lately, I was feeling very lonely here in Madrid because the country I used to live before, which is Budapest, I had so many friends. Like, my social life was very agitated, to say the least. And when I moved here, it was a big shift. But at the same time, it was a great opportunity and I have no regrets professionally, but also personally, because I feel like with my social agenda being less busy, I have way more time to focus on myself. Since I moved here, I've been focusing on losing weight and becoming more healthy, keeping a very good gym routine, and learning to spend time with myself in solitude, which was a big shift for me. Even though I've always traveled alone, I was never alone, and here I found myself alone. In the beginning, I was feeling a bit depressed, without plans, or feeling lonely, and lately I don't feel lonely, which is very nice. I actually really enjoy my own company, and as much as I try to be at least social during the week, going to the office at least once, or seeing the little friends, like the little amount of friends I built here over the weekend, I actually gain so much energy from spending time with myself only, and it was a very important switch for me. Sometimes it does create some mindset that I need to be very introspective, to have a reset, or that I really need to spend time alone, which I'm trying to find some balance in between. And that's why today I will have a solo date and spend the whole day by myself. Recording makes it less lonely. And tomorrow I'm meeting some friends. And I think getting myself busy and making plans for myself was a very important switch in this journey of being okay with my loneliness, with my solitude. I don't like to call it loneliness. I'm someone very close to my family and to my boyfriend, so, and as always as possible to my friends as well. So I don't feel necessarily lonely, but I cannot avoid the fact that solitude is something that happens to me here. Not always I see this as a negative thing, especially now, but in the beginning it was a bit difficult. And having hobbies really helped. In general, being occupied. The second thing that helped, therapy, most definitely. Not sitting alone with my feelings and having a professional person that would help me go through it. And then journaling has really helped me. Since I was young, I had so many journals and I used to write a lot. And then when I started working, I felt like I got so workaholic and I forgot to do it. And now that I'm finally balancing my life in a healthy way with work, socially, financially, and also physically, I am able to look more often to my inner self, and the journal helps with that. Being part of a journaling club makes a big difference as well. It's not only about journaling, it's about personal development and growth. Really put me on this journey, so I'm always thankful for that. Anyway, I'm 28 years old, and I feel like being in this phase somehow turned the key for me. We have this expression in Portuguese, I don't know if it makes sense in English, but what I mean is that it changed my perspective on things in a more mature way, in a more independent way, and I'm happy about it. Especially because I feel like I don't depend on anyone to deal with my feelings. I do it proactively, and I don't let it impact the others around me. My boyfriend really helped me with a philosophy called stoicism. I don't find myself necessarily Catholic. I try to be religious. It's still a path I'm figuring out. but I think stoicism helped me to deal with my emotions in a practical way. I'm someone very practical. I used to get so frustrated. It is still something I'm trying to deal with, but I used to get so frustrated when things didn't go as I planned or the way I wanted. And stoicism helped me to understand that things happen in the way they do, and I really cannot control it. The only thing I'm able to control is how I react to it. And this changed my perspective in such a positive way to be more responsible and to not suffer, but rather trying to improve. And I think this changes my mindset on how I approach life. It has helped me to be emotionally intelligent and to not suffer with negative emotions, because emotions are not facts. And something that really helped me as well, I've been consuming a lot of content, like personal development content on YouTube as well. And I saw this video about reframing. So basically there was this guy, and next to his house, suddenly, there was a construction. And the construction was, he knew it was really going to annoy him due to the noise and the fact that he was a content creator. And one day, he was going to start his work, and he saw the workers there. And instead of getting annoyed, he prepared smoothies for the workers. It was summer, and it was warm. He arrived there and he brought his smoothies to everyone. He introduced himself. He told he was the neighbor. And then the workers got so happy, like they said this never happened with them. And then the guy shared that now, instead of annoying workers, he had smiling friends towards him, because the workers would see him and would smile at him. And how powerful is that? He would open his window, and instead of getting annoyed with the noise would just be a reminder of the nice attitude he had and of the smile of the other people gave him because of his attitude. I think this is such a powerful move that I'm really trying to add in my life. I'm trying to reframe things, because in the end, that's the only thing I can control. So smart. Well, I know for sure that my skin is moisturized because even my lips there. Today, with the rain, a bit of cold in the middle of the spring, not having plans necessarily, I also was a bit upset. One more rainy weekend, one more Saturday that I only went to the gym and prepared my food at home with no excitement. But I'm trying to reframe it. I did some skincare, I called my family, now I'm getting pretty to go on a date with myself in a new café for journaling. And that's fine. If I have time, I do some shopping for a hobby I'm trying to explore. Not everything needs to be 100% planned, not everything needs to be 100% perfect. And how magical spontaneity can also be. So today I reframed. I have plans. I had a nice start of the day. I fulfilled the commitment with myself by moving my body. I'm gonna eat something nice and different. I have a place to go, and I have something to do, because that's something I decide. And I am excited as well. So let's go.
Madrid in the rain has something nostalgic about it. The street feels slower, softer, almost cinematic. I spent the afternoon in a cozy cafe, journaling about finances and the life I want to build for myself. And of course, with a sweet treat, I couldn't resist the dulce de leche. cheesecake with some tea. But more than budgeting numbers, questioning the beliefs I grew up with around money, success, scarcity, and security was quite important. What kind of life do I actually want? What does financial peace look like to me? What deserves my energy, my time, my money? Sometimes self-care also looks like honesty, like sitting down with yourself and deciding to build a more intentional future. This was a very important moment for myself to reflect and plan better my life. This type of reflections, I think, they will really guide how I perceive my career, how I perceive where I put my money in, and in the end, what are my priorities. On my way home, I decided to show you a bit about Madrid. You can see one of the main streets and the Bank of Spain. But I think the highlight was actually stopping by a very nice flower store so I could get fresh flowers. And there's something about replacing flowers at home always feels symbolic to me, like allowing new energy into my space. This is the result. I still want to add a bit of color. Anyway, by the end of the day, I realized something again. Being alone stopped feeling empty when I learned how to feel at home within myself.